Okay, we are live. It is Tuesday. And it is needle felting day. I keep going back and forth about whether or not I want to add that other shade of purple in here. I might just leave it alone. It might, now that I'm looking at the color, it might not be the thing to do. After all, it might just be me being, we need more color when we don't. Alright, so I'm putting our finger protectors on. We've got our needle felting mat. We've got our project. We've got our handle, which is housing our current needle. We've got our little thing of water just in case we need it. Right. Now, when we last left off, we were adding this pink. Actually, I need you like this, don't I? We were adding this pink in here. And I use acrylic yarn. Sometimes I use roving if I have it. But the acrylic yarn has worked out leaps and bounds better for my budget. I haven't had to replace any colors yet. I have like 60, 70 some shades of yarn. So that is fantastic. It does involve a bit of prep work though. So you cut your lengths of yarn and then you brush it out with this pet grooming brush. It's either a sticker or a slicker. I can't remember which. I think it's sticker. It's got these little angled teeth in there. I do recommend the metal one over the plastic versions because the plastic versions will most likely, the teeth will snap off at some point. I think I've only lost one tooth out of this one. Tooth tine, whatever you want to refer to them as. I think it is starting to show a little bit of wear and tear though. It's starting to crack a little bit there, but I've had this a couple of years, so that's not too shabby. But all right, we are going to kind of get back into the, well, no, you know what? I guess I can do it this way to get started. I had to put lotion on my hands because they were screaming. And now I can't fuss with the yarn. Okay. So I'm just gonna kind of lay this in. I'm gonna overlap it with the last one in here, and I'm just gonna start stabbing in. Now, my guidelines that I put in here, they're just approximate. You know, I don't have to stick with them to a T on this one. Just more or less there. And you don't have to put those in, but I kind of need guardrails sometime and a little reminder of, no, too far. You're gonna run out of room. So there are times where I just need that little reminder of scale, and the size of the thing that I am working on is not infinite. So this is approximately like 10 by 6 or something like that, 11 by 6. It's an odd size, I do admit. The piece of wood that I'm going to be mounting this on, I'd originally got them for something else. And then I didn't end up really using them for that. And I still had them kind of sitting around. I was like, you know what? Let's use these for this. I'm not sure how I'm gonna go about hanging it. I don't really want to buy the little picture hanger rectangles. I might just do enough of a length of jute attached to the back to hang it. It doesn't have to extend past the frame. We're going to make the frame. We're just kind of lifting that up there. So this section in here does need a little bit more. Because in our reference photo, this does dip down a little bit here. But I'm just kind of using that as a rough, well, not really a rough, I am using it as reference, but it's not going to look exactly like it. And I just got this photo off of Unsplash. They've got a bunch of photos on there that you can use royalty free. They do have some that require a paid subscription. This is not one of those. Because I don't have the paid version and it let me download it. So I was like, okay, cool. Great. I got a bit more done on my mom's Mother's Day gift. And I need to, I'm going to finally break down and get a light box or a light pad. I was thinking I could probably just use my Kindle, but every time I touch my Kindle, like the screen's too sensitive and I can't, like it like goes away. But I also don't want to damage the screen since it's a touch screen, so. Huh?
Yeah, I would have warned you if you told me about that, not to use your Kindle.
Yeah, no, I had the thought and I'm like, nah. I found a light pad on Amazon for under $20 that I'm gonna try. Because at this point, I probably should have one. I didn't want to get any of the fancy rechargeable ones or anything because I don't need a rechargeable one. It's not like I'm on the go using it constantly.
Is that not what you picked out?
No, it's just a USB powered. It's not a rechargeable one.
Oh, I thought it was USB charged.
They had a chargeable one, but that one was $35 compared to the $12 of the other one. And I wasn't sure I wanted to get anything real super fancy for what I was getting it for. Because I wasn't, like, I feel like it's gonna work after watching a couple of videos and somebody doing one on dark fabric. I'm like, well, this is white fabric, so I would imagine it should work. Because my design is dark. I need to see if I have enough to order that now. With the thread or not. I have a hoop. I found one. Like, I had hoops that I could use for the mother-in-laws, but my mom's, I wasn't sure I had an unfinished hoop. And I was suddenly like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. Do you think I should get a rechargeable one, or do you... What are your thoughts on the matter?
Sorry, you asking me?
Yes.
Honestly, might be worth getting a rechargeable one just so you don't have one more wire to watch.
That'll be like 20 bucks.
Yeah, I know.
Alright. So again, I'm just kind of working in our pink section here. I'm kind of like working my way bottom up. I was gonna swap to the top and then work my way in, but I don't know. This might be fine. Okay. So again, sorry we started a couple minutes late today. Had to do a couple of things this morning, and I was a little bit slow getting going, which is another reason why we're gonna switch to the summer schedule next month at some point. Might be like the middle of the month, towards the end of the month. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, husband.
You're gonna have to settle for chewing on something different because we can't trust you with that now.
I mean, she's ripping the fuzz out of the hedgehog too, so I don't know if that matters.
I can't believe she managed to chew her way through that.
Oh, I do. She won't chew on any of like the Kong type stuff that she can't ingest. Which is absolutely amazing. I figured she'd want to chew on that. I know it was a puppy teething ring, but I figured she would chew on it. Nope. Didn't even give it the time of day.
No, she chewed on it a little bit, just not much.
I think she needs the destruction. Unfortunately.
This has been apparently open. I'm gonna get rid of that.
Oh, I didn't know.
Kind of looked like a cat made off it.
Ah.
Yeah.
Silly cats. Thinking they run the joint. Silly catos. Alright, so we're just gonna work on getting our pink into here. So this color is called Bubblegum Pink from the brand Paint Box. It's an acrylic yarn. And this particular one is from their Simply Chunky line. Not super, they have two, so be careful. There's the Simply Chunky and there's the Super Super Simply Chunky or the Simply Super Chunky. Something like that. This is just the Super Chunky. Like, they've got multiple styles. There's, I think they have an Aran. They've got a bunch. I ordered mine from Lovecraft, not sponsored in any way, shape, or form. It had been on sale for like $2 and change a skein, so I was like, okay, sure. They were like having a really good sale, so that is how I ended up with the yarn that I did. Was I always kept finding it on sale, even though I hated ordering from Joann's because it was a nightmare to order from them. Because my order never came in all together. It would be here's like 3 skeins of yarn here, here's like 2 here, here's 5 here. I never ever got my entire order in one shipment, which was really frustrating because I'm like, oh, my yarn's here, and then I'm opening it up and I'm like, um, um, I ordered like 30 skeins of yarn. There's 3. What? What is this? Because, if there was a sale, I was going to make having to pay for shipping worth it or try to get to the no shipping, you know? I ordered a bunch during one of their Black Friday sales or pre-Black Friday sale. And I think the big twist at that point had been on sale for like $1.99, and it's a pretty good sized skein for $1.99. And I was like, hell yeah. And they processed half my order, and then it was almost 2.5 weeks before the rest of it showed. No, maybe it might have been closer to 3 weeks before the rest of it showed up. I'm like, where's the rest of my yarn that I paid for? Like, didn't have a single word from them. I'm like, hello? I was trying to contact customer service. Like, I think they did not anticipate how much they were going to sell. And I should have known. I said I wasn't going to order from them again after my first experience. Not during a holiday sale, but during a regular sale. And I was like, this is a nightmare. I don't know if I want to put myself through this again. But then the call of the yarn being so low priced on sale, I was like, oh, I need that. Like, this is the best price I've seen in a while for this much yarn. So I broke down and went against what I said I was gonna do or not do, and then I paid for it. I did eventually get all of it, but it was pulling teeth to get information on where the rest of my order was. They're like, oh, it's still processing. I'm like, how is it still processing? You've already given me half of it. I guess the other stores were swamped with orders wherever it was coming from. I don't know, man, because it was the bulk of my order that was missing. I was like, excuse me. And then when the rest of it did show up, I was going through everything to make sure I actually got all of it. I was like, because it was a Christmas present, and I wasn't gonna, like, if it had all showed up at once, I would have been like, okay. And then I would just been like, oh, yarn's here, set the box in the other room. But because of how they were shipping it, I had to open every single box and go through every single invoice and be like, is it all here? Because I don't want to find out 3 weeks from now that something's missing when I can't do anything about it at that point. But Michael's now seems to have the big twist value in on their website and in their store. I saw it in one of their stores when we were in Florida. There was a Michael's near our hotel, and since we had gotten stuck down there because of the ice storm in Mississippi, and we were having trouble getting home, we were going to have to wait out the ice to melt on the interstate a bit. And there was all sorts of travel advisories. The interstate's closed here. And if the interstate was like that, we didn't want to attempt local roads that we didn't know. Like, I was looking at alternate routes, but I was like, well, if we go south and take I-10 instead, that'll take us through Louisiana, but then going north up through Louisiana was going to be the same situation that we were running into in Mississippi. So it's like, let's just wait. So we were looking for something, to waste some time, because we didn't have that much spare cash that we could muck about and go do stuff with. And that particular day wasn't very nice. I think it was cloudy and drizzly and stuff. So I'm like, let's go to the art store. I'm not gonna get anything. I hadn't planned on getting anything, but let's just go look. Because they've got a Michael's here. And our closest Michael's is, at the moment, is like an hour away, just about. In one direction. So I'm like, let's go see. I know they're a little bit more expensive than Hobby Lobby, which is our only choice, and I hate shopping there. I really do. But if I need it today and Walmart doesn't have it, Walmart doesn't have very much, then my hands are tied sometimes, because I'm not going an hour in one direction in the hopes that the next closest art store has it. We are getting in Michael's closer to us. That's gonna open, I think, the end of April, maybe beginning of May. I think they're doing a soft opening the end of April, and then they're gonna have a grand opening beginning of May. Now that one's about half an hour from us in one direction. That's a little bit more doable. But we went to this Michael's near our hotel, and ended up getting a paint by number, which I still need to try to finish. The numbers were so tiny, I was having trouble seeing it in the hotel room. I'm like, this is tiny. And like, there wasn't a table that was super comfortable for me to sit at to try to do it. So then I ended up getting a coloring book and crowns, so I had something to do. I mean, I still had my stitching, but that only went so far before I was like, okay, I need to work on something else now. But I saw it in there when we were walking around. I was hoping to see if they had any of their grab box mystery supplies that they do sometimes when they're trying to like offload clearance or whatever. They didn't have any in that store when we were there, because if they did, I was grabbing one. I told him that. I was like, if I see one, because they're usually like $10, I'm getting one. I don't know how I'm getting home, but I'm getting. But they didn't have those, but they had some cute stuff. I saw that they had some like diorama kits, and those looked so fun. They had like a couple little greenhouse ones, and I'm like, oh, that looks so fun to do. I kind of want to get one. I didn't get one, but we took a photo of it, of a couple of them, so I can remember the ones that I was looking at. And I did see them on their website. I haven't seen if they were on Amazon yet to like price compare, but because they are a little pricey, I'm not gonna lie. Like they were like $49, $50, something like that. A couple of them, not all of them, but a couple of them were. I was like, oof. But it did look like there was a fair bit to the kit though, so Or was that at least. And I actually do love the canvas sales that Michael's does. I got a bunch of smaller canvases. I still haven't gone through all of them. I guess I haven't been painting that much. When they were having like a 70% off sale. Like, you have to watch because sometimes the sale price is different in store than online. Sometimes in store it's like buy two get two free, or was it buy one get two free, or buy two get one free, something like that. It was a little different than how it was worded on the website. But I like that they have a rewards program where you can earn vouchers to put towards other purchases and whatnot. But I will say I was really, really disappointed in Hobby Lobby's selection with some things. I noticed that they clearanced out all of their dollhouse stuff, and I guess dollhouses aren't what they used to be, right? But they even sold their display models, and I was like, wow. I was like, that sucks for the people that really are into the miniatures and things, and making model stuff and all that, because a lot of that would cross over into each other. And then the last time we were in our local, it's still not that close to us, Hobby Lobby, I was like, well, I know they've got yarn, and I never really liked the prices on the yarn that was there. It always felt a little expensive for what was being offered when I knew I could get better prices elsewhere. And I was like, let me look at the thread that they've got, what they've got for needle crafts. And they've got a ton of fabric. And they've got a whole bunch of like thread for sewing and sewing machines and whatnot. But it felt like Walmart had more of a selection on embroidery floss than they did. And I was like, what? Like, what on earth is this? And I was so confused. They might have had a little bit of thread. I'm trying to remember if they even had any loose thread. They might have had a tiny bit. But it was really shocking how little they had. They had hardly any it was like one side of an aisle maybe that had a couple of like cross stitch. I don't even know if they had embroidery. I think it was mostly cross stitch. There might have been a couple embroidery things. But I was like, what? I was like, what is this? This is crazy how little there was. Like, absolutely crazy. Sorry, I had an itch that would not be denied. It was wild. I haven't had the chance to get to Walmart yet to see if they have more of this blue thread that I'm nervous about. I might just have to reduce how much of that color I'm gonna use to ensure that I'm gonna have enough. And I think I can get away with doing that. Because I was trying to color match it on my computer, which doesn't really work. But I was trying to look against the color chart that I had found for DMC because it's not DMC thread, it's from Coates and Clark, and there's no color number on it. Which thanks, Coates and Clark. That's freaking helpful. And I had gotten it out of a multi-pack, and I thought I had more. But it's a different shade that there was a couple more skeins of, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna have enough of this color. And we haven't had the chance to go to Walmart to see if I can physically color match it in person. But I think I know what shade it is. But I went to Michaels's website and I'm like, hey, do you guys have this shade? They did, but it looked completely different from the color chart. And I'm like, that doesn't even look like a dye lot issue. That looks like a completely different color. So now I'm kind of like, I don't know if I can get more of this color. This is a mystery. I did in my um in my wanderings of my brain looking through Amazon last night find what I think is the same multi-pack of thread that I had gotten from Walmart. Walmart doesn't have it anymore. And the time that I bought it, they stopped carrying it. And I'm like, really? Why? Why are you doing me dirty like this? Like, this is crazy. I mean, it's been a couple months, so I'm not surprised. You know, planograms are always adjusting and changing, it seems, quarterly. But, I was like, why are you gonna do me like this? And, but I think I did find one, I'd bought two different color packs. I think I found one of them on Amazon. However, the version, because it had multiple buying options, and I'm like, oh, this ought to be good. You gotta check that. Because sometimes the low price that they're showing you is a returned used item and not brand new. And you also have to check where it's shipping from. Because you might think you're getting something through your Prime, and then suddenly you're paying shipping on it that is astronomically more than the item itself. So I was like, where, what, why? There was like 5 different buying options for this thing. And, you know, I should just see if Coates and Clark has it as a website that I can order direct from. I mean, I'll have to pay shipping from them. But I want to see how much they're charging if they have a shoppable site. That'll be my mission for today. The price that they originally showed was like 13 and change, and I'm like, that sounds close to what I paid for it for the larger pack of colors that I got before Christmas. And I'm like, and there's a color of blue in the photo of the front of the package that looks like the color in question. And I'm like, by Jove, I think this is the same one. And it said 13 and change, but then I was like, okay, well, where's it shipping from? And it said 5 buying options, and I'm like, huh. Okay. So I looked at the buying options, and the one that was shipping from Amazon was almost $20. And I was like, oh my god, you're killing me, Smells. I'm like, I don't wanna do that. So I've got a couple of options. Option number 1 is to cross my fingers and try to like reduce how much of that shade I'm using and kind of like do it in a little bit of an arc shape. Like kind of like take it up at a slight angle, use just a little bit across the rest of the top, and then once I get to the other corner, kind of like angle it down so that the amount on this end matches the amount on this end at the top. And cross my fingers that I've got enough. Option 2 is we pop into Walmart the next time we're up that way. And I have my color swatch with me. And we see. We just take a look-see and see if they have a shade that's close enough to what I've got. Because that's kind of what I had to do for the pink, right? I wasn't sure I had enough of the pink for my name after seeing how much one letter took. And I was like, well, shit. So I realized that their loose thread is DMC at Walmart and not Coats and Clark. I don't know if Coats and Clark does loose thread. They might not. And I was like, oh, well, this is fantastic. And I was like, I don't know what color number this is. Not that it would matter because it's from a different company. So there's no guarantee that it would match anyhow. And I think I found a shade that's pretty comparable for the pink. So I was like, okay, well, I can try to do the same thing with this blue, right? And I think I found a close color to this blue on their website. So I kind of have a color number to work off of. I think it's 3846 or 3845. I think it's 3846 was the closest one. According to my monitor, depends on how off my monitor is as well. It might be the closest I'm going to get. So I was like, well, that's option number 2. Option number 3 is to wait and see if Michael's, when they open, has it. Because I want to go up there and see all that they've got when they open. Or, what was it? That's 3. Option 4 is to get this $20 pack of thread from Amazon that I don't really think I need. What the hell was that noise? Sounded like something banging on our porch for some reason. I don't hear it now. It's still windy, you guys. And I don't know why, but the night that it was like 7 degrees wind chill, it didn't seem all that cold in the house. Like, it was a little chilly, but it wasn't like, oh my god, I'm cold, I can't get warm. Last night, usually when I have the panel lights on, even though they're LED, it'll still be a little bit warm in here. Especially if the husband's playing Diablo or what is it, Last Epoch or something, Exiles, I don't know. Something similar to Diablo. It can get really warm in here from the heat that his graphics card's putting out and computer and all that. It was freezing in here. I'm still cold. Like, I've got long sleeves on. I have very few long sleeve shirts that I can tolerate wearing. I've got this one, I've got this one from the Tampa Zoo. I've got one from Key West. I've got one, a pink kind of long sleevey, not quite a sweater. Like a cross between a sweater and a t-shirt material. I've got a pink and a black one. And then I have a couple, one, two, maybe four stretchy, clingy long sleeve shirts. That's it. The rest of my existence is like tank tops with like over shirts that I can layer on top of them, like different sweaters, like sweater coats, like cardigans, I guess is what we'll call them. And like the open front that don't really button or zip up. I suppose I could make a button hole on a couple of them if I really wanted to. Still in frame. Okay. But yeah, so those are my options for the thread. Not really sure what I want to do about that, but Hobby Lobby was not an option. Because they had very little. Like, I needed metallic thread. I was even searching on their website. I was like, do you guys have it? Nope. Not what I was looking for. I was like, alright. I guess I'll get that from Amazon too. At least then I don't have to leave the house. Like, there's some stuff I won't get on Amazon art supplies wise because they're way overcharging, and I know it. Like, craft paint I don't want to buy. Like the 2-ounce bottles, like the craft paint bottles. I don't want to buy those online, or at least not from them. Because I've seen the prices on those, and they are not policed very well, and they are way over what I would pay in person at the craft store. Way over. I'm just kind of getting some more broken, like little wispy guys in here. So if you want to try to spread your fiber out, you want to scrape the surface before you start really attaching it. Scrape. Like run it across the surface. Do not stab in and then pull. You are going to snap your needle. So if you want to like give it a couple anchor points and then lightly across the surface, just kind of use the needle to drag it out a little bit. Give me 1 second. I swear it sounds like somebody's walking on our porch. Alright, sorry about that. I think it's one of our porch decorations, I guess you would call it. Thumping in the wind. Oddly. Sorry about that. I hope we actually get... Nope, that didn't help. Hold on. My eye feels gunky. Allergy season is so tough here. There seems to be a specific tree. And my glasses are dirty too. That's not helping. There seems to be a specific tree in this area that I didn't have to deal with up in New Jersey, that my body just hates with all of its being, and just wreaks havoc on my system. I've finally found one allergy medicine that kind of helps, at least for a few hours, to make life a little bit more tolerable. But I also don't want to, like, I don't like taking it, because you know, usually I can just muscle through. Oh, I'm a little stuffy. No, not down here. My eyes will itch to the point where opening them is painful, and they'll just start watering to the point where I can't really look at anything, let alone have these panel lights on. Forget that. Staring at anything becomes painful with my eyes open when it gets real bad, and ugh. I think it's what is it? Is it cedar, juniper cedar, something like that. Mountain cedar, juniper ash. It's some weird like combo of tree that's like specific to this area that keeps trying to do me in, it seems. And I do not think it's in the area that we're considering jumping ship to. And I just want out of this area so much. Because every day is an adventure down here, and not really comfortable with the behavior and attitudes, shall we say, of some of the people that grew up here. Like, I grew up in South Jersey, the casino scene, you know, all kinds of different people from all over. Quite an eclectic, is that right? I don't know. Quite a wide range of backgrounds and just where people were from, people that had immigrated here that were just trying to make some extra money to send back home because our money went further than some of the money that they were making down there to help cover costs, you know, and that was fine, you know, and some of those people were really, really nice people. Here has been an eye-opening experience. because one of the first things I noticed when we moved down here, I was like, you know, like you'd go to the grocery store, you'd see all kinds of people from all kinds of walks of life. And depending on which grocery store you went to, like if we went to like one of the local ones out closer to us, it was definitely a different group of people than you would see closer to the one near the university. And I was like, huh, that's weird. And he goes, what? I'm like, look around you. Everybody looks the same. And he's like, huh. And I'm like, yeah. Um, it was, I understand now after seeing some of the behaviors of people on Facebook in the local community. Um, why that might be. It doesn't make it right. It's not right. But some of them have some very old-fashioned views. And it's very uncomfortable that some of those people seem to think it's okay, still in this day and age, to have those views. And I don't like it. He doesn't like it. And we're really tired of the way things are around here, so we definitely want out sooner than later, but that's probably not in our control. So we kind of just have to cope. I don't know if this is the right orange. So this is orange peach or peach orange. Oh man, we want out of here so bad. And you don't realize some of the views of people until you see the parents talking about the bullying in the schools. And one parent was sharing their incident, and I was like, oh, that's not okay. That's far from okay. That's terrible. And how about, you know, they're not going to do anything about it. It's been going on for years. It's the mentality of this area. And I'm like, oh, yeah, no. No, no, no. No, I was like, I really want out of here now. It's getting worse when it should be getting better. You know? And it's like, I don't want any parts of this nonsense. I don't want to be associated with this in any way, shape, or form. This is not okay. But like I said, we were at the farmers market last year doing a giveaway day. And for those that don't know, my husband has been diagnosed with autism. When he didn't even know he was anywhere near that. He just thought he was suffering with anxiety and depression and stuff. And no, they're like, oh, well, you're definitely on the spectrum. And he's like, really? And they're like, yeah. Like, when he opened the paperwork, he's like, huh. Like, yeah. Okay. And then in hindsight, we're like, okay, you know what? That kind of makes sense. But after he did his evaluation and he was thinking back to all of the answers that he gave, and he's like, oh, you're definitely on there. And I'm like, I don't know. He goes, no, you're on there. I was like, if you say so. He goes, no, you are for sure. Um, we were at this farmer's market, local. And you know, a lot of the people in the town, you know, they're there looking to see, they're either selling or they're looking to buy stuff, see what's happening. And they let you do like handcrafted stuff along with um like plants and vegetables and stuff that you've grown. And we didn't have to pay a fee to set up. We just had to fill out a form saying, yeah, we were here. Just so they know. And we weren't charging anything. We were just doing a giveaway, and I had a tip jar out in case anybody wanted to tip or pay what they wanted. You know, sort of thing. Pay what you can. And because you know, it was stuff that just needed to be rehomed at that point, and I just rather, you know, do it that way. And if anything didn't sell, then I can donate it to a different shop down here. Hey, excuse me. Excuse me. Boys. Excuse you. Can't get to my spray bottle. Hey. Calm thyselves. You don't have to be assholes. And this one lady came up without any real prompting. And I'm not even sure how we got onto the subject. I do not believe we really initiated it. We were just kind of standing there being our awkward selves, or sitting there. And this lady comes up and starts talking to us about, oh, how her granddaughter likes doing art and stuff and just bought her this or that. And we're like, oh, you know, that's nice. And hopefully she enjoys it. You know, we're really bad at the awkward small talk with strangers. We're like, I don't know what to tell you, lady. And then somehow she launched into how her granddaughter has ADHD or something, and that when she won't listen or do what she's being told, you know, sometimes she has to punish her in the southern way of punishing a kid that involves their behind. And she was a little bit more descriptive, but I'm trying to be careful. And I'm like, uh-huh. And I think we're like, well, is she on medication for it? Because it sounds like she might need it. If she can't settle and focus. And we were trying as politely as we could. We're like, you know, if that's what's wrong, if she is suffering from this condition. Excuse me a second. Hey. Be a good boy. What? Do you have Ed for... What is on your face? Come here. What is on your face? Oh, gross. Go on. Go find Littles. No, you're not going after that. Oh my god, these cats today. And we're like, ma'am, ma'am, if she's actually been diagnosed with ADHD, now, you know, that you still have to know right from wrong, and if she's doing something that's actually wrong and specifically misbehaving, that's one thing. But if you're punishing her and for something that she can't control, where like she keeps getting like more and more like won't settle, or won't or can't calm down because she's too hyper or something, that's not something you can punish out of a child. You can't punish ADHD away. Giving them a whooping doesn't do anything. All it's going to do as they get older is make them resent you. Like, I understand if they are actually doing something bad that you need to teach them. I mean, I don't condone that type of punishment anyway. But if they're hurting a sibling or doing something dangerous or whatever, that's one thing. But you're not going to punish the ADHD out of them if that's what the problem is, as to why they can't do what you're telling them to do. And she just kind of looked at us like we were idiots. And I'm like, husband's on the spectrum. We believe I am too. Like, that you can punish her till you're blue in the face. It's not gonna change how her brain is functioning on a brain level. Like I guess she just expected us to blindly agree with her. But husband and I were like, no, that's that's not how that works. That's not going to fix it. She didn't really argue with us too much. She just kind of stared at us in shock, and then it was kind of awkward. So I guess she just sort of expected us to agree with her. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's not how that works. And if grandma's doing that, I can't help but wonder what mom and dad are doing. Or if mom and dad even know. But people really do be just walking up to strangers. And I don't think we've ever seen this lady in our lives. And I don't know if we'll ever see her again. But it was just really bizarre. And like, him and I were looking at each other like, did this really just happen? I don't know, maybe it's a southern thing. We're very much not southern. I don't know. It was weird and really uncomfortable. And then she just kind of like kept hanging around the booth like, oh, and I think she was trying to decide if she was going to get something or not, or if she felt weird walking away at that point. And I'm just like, you can go now. I'm like, I think this was the same lady that was like searching for a quarter to tip me. I'm like, don't worry about it. It's fine. Just take it. I'm not that worried about it. If all you can spare is a quarter, hold on to that quarter. You need that more than I do. At that point, I was just like, just move along, ma'am. because that's not okay. That's just not okay. It's not okay. You are not going to punish the ADHD out of your grandchild. It's not how this works at all. Sorry, I heard the husband talking a little bit loudly, and I wasn't sure what was going on. Alright, so I'm gonna work on this end a little bit. I'm hoping we don't run into this woman again. When we go this year, if we go this year. I don't have a whole lot of stuff right now. I kind of want to get some penny sleeves of my own so I can do some small art. And just put them in those to protect them. Like I keep seeing, like the trendy thing now is what, those little artist trading card things. I'm like, I could probably do that. I've got plenty of paper. I've had several watercolor pads that the sizing's probably long since given up the ghost on, but I'm sure I can still acrylic paint on them or gouache on them. Oh boy, yeah, we're gonna need to do quite a bit of this color. Alright. Just because it is a little bit of a lighter color, but to get it to the shade, plus I can see a lot of the gray kind of poking through there. If it doesn't want to peel off in the one direction, don't force it. Just kind of try to peel it from a different direction. So I'm kind of working on this inner swath here. This inner swath might have needed to be just a little bit skinnier, but that's fine. Doesn't have to be to the millimeter of the other one. Alright, so this definitely needs some more layering in here. So how is everybody doing today? Guys doing all right? Hope so. So I'm trying to get the very edge of this filled in as best as I can. But I also know that we're gonna trim a tiny bit off of the edge. So I'm trying to overhang it a little bit. And then we've got our frame that's going to sit on the edge. So that's gonna cover up a little bit too. So definitely want to take the frame into account. especially if there's something that you want to make sure is visible. Like if it's a small detail that you want to make sure is seen, then don't forget to check your frame if you're putting a frame on it. I'm putting one on mine. Just to make sure that the frame is not going to cover something that you wanted to be visible. So kind of like when we were doing the magnets, where if something was going to be super tiny and the frame was going to lay on top of it, I either needed to move it over to accommodate for that or make it a bit bigger so that it was peeking out from behind the frame. All right. We're gonna work on getting this piece into here. I feel like I still need a teeny tiny bit right there. Now this color, we do have a good amount of it that needs to come in here. So we're gonna be on this color for a little bit. So I can't remember if I gave an update on the kit that I was working on for my mom for this rooster family, chicken family. I had gotten the kit back in, I don't know, September, October. I had purchased it as a 3-piece kit, like it was a kit of 3 individual kits, if that makes sense. The grand purchase itself had 3 individual chicken kits in it, so chicken embroideries. And I thought it was cool because, you know, oh, that's not so much. It said it was beginner friendly. The first one that I tried to put together, that was her Christmas gift, I was kind of able to figure it out, being the first time I really did much embroidery. I did have to look up some stitches, be like, what does this mean? This instruction is really vague. So I was using some YouTube tutorials to figure out what they actually meant, because as I was reading, it felt like English wasn't first language, and which is fine, but like the way that the word needles was spelled felt wrong, and I wasn't sure what that meant. It was like NEEDLESI or something. I wasn't, unless that was the size of the needle. I wasn't real sure what that meant. And I'm like, okay. And it was like on every word needles in the pattern. And I'm like, is it me? Am I just not understanding this? Because it's possible. It's possible. But I'm just real confused. And a couple of the items on the pattern weren't 100% clear as to what color was going where. Just a couple. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't know, maybe that's a misprint or something. It was a little nerve-wracking, maybe nervous for someone that, you know, first time really doing embroidery. I was wanting to follow the pattern, but it became apparent that it was quickly becoming a choose your own adventure to a degree, and part of it, and I was like, okay. So while it says it's beginner friendly, and after working on the second piece in the kit, hold on one second. Give me 1 second, you guys. I have to go get a drink. I will be right back. All right, sorry about that. I had heard the husband talking loudly at his mother, and I heard him say, "I can smell that on you." And I was like, "Oh, no. What is happening?" He finally came into the room. I'm extremely hypersensitive. I can't wear perfume. There's one body spray I can wear that is just lime scented, key lime scented. That's all it is. It's a fruit with nothing else added to it. Just straight key lime scent. I can do that, but I can't do any actual perfume. There's like 3 shampoos I can use that don't bother me.
Okay.
Um, and
Could you pause for just a second?
yeah, just I'll be right back. I'm sorry, one more second. Sorry again. He had to ask me if she could use something else. And I'm like, so, like, I even have to pre smell my deodorant, his deodorant, because especially his, because we can never remember what brand he's using when we're in the store, to make sure that I can tolerate it. It's bad. Like, I can smell it across the room. I can smell like hairspray and stuff across the room. Um, we've told her repeatedly, if she brings anything smelly into the house, I have to smell it before she uses it. Because if it's gonna, because it'll give me a migraine and it will incapacitate me for days. Like I can't even walk past Bath and Body Works anymore. I can smell it like 30 feet outside of the store. It's horrible. Um, and I hate how sensitive I am to smells, but it's become my life now. And we've told her repeatedly, anything smelly that comes into the house before you use it, I kind of need to smell it outside because I don't want the smell coming in the house if it's going to be a problem, because then I can't get the smell out of the house. And she loves her flowery bullshit. And not a big deal when she's traveling with her sister and in the RV because she can keep that shit in there. We finally got her room not smelling weird and perfumey with her not being here, because when we cleaned the room, we found a suitcase that had like 2 shopping bags full of flowery scented soaps from hotels and stuff when she was traveling around that she kept bringing home and then not using, and then her room's the hottest room in the house, so when the heat came on, then the smell was spreading through the house. And as we were sitting here, I heard the husband go, I can smell that on you. I can smell that on you. And he's like, get rid of it. It has to go. And I'm like, oh no, what is happening? And when he came in, I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, well, come with me and come out here and smell. And I thought I smelled something weird, but I couldn't put my finger on it. And I'm like, I don't know if it's just the house being weirdly smelly at the moment or what. Um, like, I don't know. Um, so I went out into the other room. I'm like, I smell something, but I don't know if it's a house just being weirdly smelly or what. Like, I don't know if it's like from the dogs or the cats or whatever. And then he's like, okay, come this way. And the closer to her room I was getting, I was smelling something, but I wasn't sure what I was smelling. And then I said, where is this bottle of stuff? And it wasn't just lotion, it's oil. It's scented oil, like a scented baby oil from like Dr. Teal's or whatever. And his mom's like, "Oh, well, it was just lemon." And the husband turned it over. He goes, "It says fragrance on it. This is like perfumey." He's like, "No." And he's like, he's mad. He's mad at her. And I'm like, "I need to smell the bottle so I can tell if what I'm smelling is that. Because what I'm smelling out here might not be that." And so he pulled the bottle out of like a container that it was in and like 4 plastic bags that it was wrapped around it. Opened it and I was like, "Oh God, yeah, no, that is what I'm smelling. That smells bad. It doesn't even smell like lemon. It it smelled bad. It smelled like really bad cat pee and wet dog combined, which is why I wasn't sure what I was smelling." And I'm like, In no way, shape, or form is that lemon. I would rather you squeezed a lemon into like rubbing alcohol or something and used that. Or no, absolutely not." And I'm like, "Why do we have to get the super smelly shit that smells bad?" And like as I was standing there, I'm like, "Okay, yeah, this is giving me a headache. I can feel it building." Like the longer I was standing in the doorway to her room, the worse it was like starting to punch me in the face. And I'm like, "Oh no, 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 no. No, 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 no." And I said to him, I said, "Why? We've been over this." He's like, "Yeah, I know. I know. But it said lemon and she thought it was just gonna smell like lemon, and then you turn it over and it says fragrance, which means it's perfume." And I was like, "Oh my God." I was like, he's like, "Well, what can she get for moisturizer then?" I was like, "I have Gold Bond eczema cream for my hands and the way they peel and shit, and that's the only thing that helps. I've got Key West aloe that's key lime flavored. I've got 2 versions of that." I was like, "I've got 5 bottles of the one that we bought when we were down there because they were discontinuing it from the one place that I liked it from." I was like, "She can have one of those bottles because that's something I know I can deal with." But no, there's like 4 or 5 scents I can tolerate. There's a dragon blood incense from specifically from a specific company because not every incense company has the same ratio. Um, from like is it Wildberry? I can tolerate their dragon's blood. I can do Payne's balsam fir and their cedar, and then this key lime scent. That's it.
She is currently taking a shower,
Okay.
trying to use like you said, the shaving cream to get it off.
Okay.
I'm currently airing out her room.
Uh-huh.
I've got the fan in the window,
Uh-huh.
trying to blow air around, just try to get it cleared out.
It's just with her room being the main room off the heat run, the smell's gonna circulate through the whole house
Yeah.
now.
So, like I said, it's getting better in the hallway. I'm not smelling it out there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully it'll clear out relatively quick now she's showering it off.
Yeah, like I'm not trying to be a huge pain in the ass, but
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah. Well, again, she thought she was doing good because she said, "Oh, lemon, that's gentle," but she didn't check and see that there was fragrance in it, and
Good is saying, "Hey, can you smell this so I know if I can wear
she
it in
was
the
going
house?"
to, but you were streaming, and I didn't want to inflict it directly on you. I told her the moment she opened it, no.
And then she put it on anyway?
Yeah, she didn't take my word at it.
You've been around me long enough to know what's going to be a problem and what's not going to be a problem.
She volunteered to get in the shower and try to wash the stuff off.
Yeah, I didn't want to lose the ability to smell this
Yes.
if she put it on top of the
I
other.
told her.
Okay. That was my biggest concern. I'm like, "Oh wait, she's gonna put this on top of it,"
Yeah,
and
I am gonna. She if she does put it on, I'm gonna. She's probably gonna try to avoid you for the day just to make sure that the remaining scent doesn't fuck with you.
that's fine.
She probably will put it on after she does the wash.
That's
Yeah.
okay, but like,
Yeah, it's all right.
Now, what time's Loretta picking her up?
I have no idea.
Can you see if you can find out when she comes out of the shower?
I mean, is it relevant?
I just didn't know what door she was going to be going out.
She's gonna go out your
Okay. And like if we needed to be here or for fuck's sake. I swear. Yeah, because that was my next biggest concern is her wearing this the one key lime scent that I can do that doesn't bother me on top of this nasty scent that's giving me a headache. And I didn't want the smells to combine and then me not be able to do the one smell I can, which is why I'm like, she can put this on, but please don't put it on top of what you've already got on, because then the smells are going to combine, and then my brain is going to be like, no, bad smell, bad smell. Ugh, I hate being this way, but this is not a new thing. She had this lavender and lilac fabric softener or scent beads or something ridiculous along those lines. It might have been fabric softener that she kept insisting on using, and I was like, hey, could you maybe use like a little bit less of whatever that is? It's really strong and it's making me cough. Like every time you do laundry, I can't come out of our room because it's that bad. Because then I start coughing my head off. And she'd be like, yeah, okay. And then she would like almost double up the amount she was using. And it would seem even stronger. And the husband talked to her. And she's like, yeah, okay. And then I'm like, can we get like the free and clear fabric softener if you need the fabric softener? Because at least that won't have a smell. Like even our laundry detergent has to be unscented, sensitive skin, whatever. Just so it doesn't have a smell. And I will say some days our dryer sheets are a bit much for me. Some days are worse than others. I can usually tolerate that dryer sheet that we have. And it got to the point where like she just started using it even more. It felt like, because every time she did laundry, it seemed like it smelled even stronger. And she had hung her clothes up to dry outside on the clothesline and left and went somewhere for the day. I don't know where she went. I don't know if she went to work. She went somewhere. And the husband and I walked outside to take the dogs out to potty. And a huge gust of wind blew from like the backyard up the driveway to where we were standing. I was outside and all of the sudden started coughing so bad I felt like I couldn't breathe. Like it was awful. Like it felt like my throat was closing and I was like, oh my god, what is happening? My face was going red. I was sweating. I couldn't stop coughing. And then we realized her laundry was hanging up out there and that scent hit me in the face right before I was like doubling over coughing so bad. And he helped me inside and we found some Benadryl, or he went to go get me some Benadryl because we didn't have any. And I took some and I think we had some face masks around still, and I put one on and he was supposed to be going out to meet somebody and he was livid. He went and he smelled the laundry and he came back. He's like, I fucking told her not to use it. And he like tore through the laundry room found the bottle and I think dumped it down the drain. He's like, no, we're not doing this. He was pissed.
Okay, so you're not going to want to go in her room for a bit, but she is. Like, I'm sure there's a little bit of smell clinging to her, but she's not the kind that I would expect you to have a headache over.
Okay.
It's much lower tier now that she got in there and washed up and everything.
Okay.
She did put some of this stuff on because I could barely smell, and it did cover it pretty solid.
Okay.
So she's probably still going to smell a little bit of it when she comes out of there just because the room smells, but she's going to be heading
Do you
out
think
again.
Bean's gonna pick up the smell?
I doubt it. It should settle by the time Bean goes to bed.
Well, no, I mean, if we have to toss him in there this afternoon when my mom goes out to smoke or something.
It's just there because there's not a lot of air movement there.
Okay.
And opening the window didn't really help.
Well, it's oil. It's not gonna...
Yeah. So, her getting it off of her is gonna help more than anything I did.
Alright, so did you, like, Ziploc it and put it back in that container? Or...
Yeah, I bagged it and put it in that container. She's gonna take it out.
Alright, so that's going with her when Loretta picks her up? Okay.
I don't know about when she picks her up, but I think so. Because I think all that stuff is going with, but I'm not sure. But it should be sealed enough to not leak through the house.
Okay. Was that the first time she had... Like, she didn't put it on before you smelled it, right?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I smelled it, and I said no, and she looked at me odd, and she put it on, and had me smell it, and... Again, it's minimal brain cells right now, dear. Old lady doesn't think steps through logically, so... But she does apologize. She is trying to get rid of the smell.
I mean, at this point, she should have just cooked the stupid food here if we were gonna do this to me. Oh my god. It's that goddamn candle all over again. Oh my god. It's like she never believes me. She got my mom a coffee-scented candle for Christmas, and I'm like, what is this? I, like, didn't even get 2 steps into my mom's room and I could smell it. And I'm like, no. Absolutely not. I was like, whatever that smell is, it needs to get the fuck out of this house right now. No. And because it didn't just smell like coffee, it smelled like perfume coffee. There was like some kind of weird sickening undertone bass to it. It was horrible. So then they're like, oh, well, I can sit outside on the front porch. I'm like, no, it needs to go. I'm standing out here next to it and can smell it outside. That's bad. The thing's not even lit. And so she said she would take it back to the RV and then didn't and left it up front. I picked it up to walk it back there, and then the smell was on my hand from just touching the outside of it. And I was like, oh my god. I was like soaking my hand in shaving cream, everything I could to get the smell off of my hand. Finally got it off. Like, she didn't believe me. She keeps having this, like, these disbelief moments when I tell her that's gonna be a problem for me. And does it anyway. And, so Russell hand delivered it into the RV and was like, this cannot be up there. I told you that. And, right before they left, the candle was magically back up on the front porch. I'm like, what are you doing? I told you. This cannot be here. It is a problem for me. I'm not joking. When I tell you I can smell it 10 feet away from it, stepping out onto the front porch, this is a problem. Like, no. And I think we ended up throwing it away because we were so mad at that point. Because she just wasn't listening.
Which thing, a coffee candle?
Yeah.
Yeah, we ended up tossing that.
because she just wouldn't get it through her head that this could not even be outside. And it's not like we were gonna light it on the front porch anyway. It's too windy to light anything. Half the time, the citronella candle that my mom has doesn't stay lit. She's gonna be here till the end of June if she doesn't actually get called for jury duty right away and serve the 10 required days. You guys, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. And it's not like she can just hang out in the RV, because the RV's in Missouri at her other sister's. Because the sister that owns the RV has to go back up to deal with the sale of a property in New Hampshire. And she's going to be leaving soon. So the mother-in-law is going to be staying in the house. Either until she's called in and needed for jury duty and serves 10 days, or until the end of the period, which is June 30th. Which realistically means she might not be leaving until like the first week of July. Maybe the second week of July. Like, long scenario. It's gonna be a long couple of months. I don't know if I'm gonna make it, you guys. Don't know. I mean, I don't really have much of a choice, but anyway, back to what I was talking about before Scentgate just happened again. Scent Apocalypse. The ongoing scent war. Alright, I wanna bring this to overlap just a little bit. Just a little bit. Doesn't have to be too crazy. But yeah, so this embroidery kit. So the first one kind of felt like more solid beginner. But not like beginner. Because there was a couple of color spots that weren't really 100% clear on what color you were supposed to put there. I got through it and it looked alright, you know, and I was fairly happy with it. I was just thinking, oh no, maybe it was just my inexperience. And then I opened the one that I'm making her that I had saved for Mother's Day. This one's for my mom. It rapidly became choose your own adventure to a degree, because 2/3 of the feather placements on these roosters don't have a color number on them. And there'll be like 3 or 4 sections of feathers, and they've got them like where it's not like fully closed off, And you can't really tell what colors where in the photo. And I'm just like, what? And I'm pretty sure I put a couple colors in the wrong spots now that I'm getting closer to being done. I'm like, yeah, okay. That tracks. This one feels more maybe intermediate than very, very beginner friendly, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. What's up?
Nothing. She was showing me more photos. Again, photos matter to her in a way that they don't for us.
Okay. So, while I am getting closer to being done, this, let's see if I can get it in here. This kit. Um, it's, been an adventure. It's been quite an adventure. Um, Hang on. I just saw what looks to be. Is that my hair? No, that might be a cow or bean hair. Um, it's chickens. I still have a little bit more to go. I was hoping to get some more work done on it tonight, but I don't know if that's gonna be possible now. It kind of depends on how I'm feeling. I know right now I'm not feeling so great, but we'll see if that starts to improve. But yeah, so I wouldn't recommend that kit if you're a very brand new beginner and never did a stitch before, because the way they've got the pattern laid out, it's kind of like, oh, you know what you're doing, so we're just gonna give you like the absolute minimum for what you need to figure it out, is what it kind of felt like the more I went on. I'm getting there. But, you know, when you're not used to doing them like with your eyes closed or anything, and like it's not like the stitches have been too too elaborate or anything. They've been pretty basic. It's been mostly a satin stitch, a couple leaf stitch, and long and short needles. Um, like it's been pretty easy to figure out that way. Oh, there's been a couple contour stitch on this particular one. But it definitely, as I'm doing a kit that's teaching me different what's the word? Different stitches, it definitely doesn't feel completely beginner friendly. I'd either say a confident beginner or closer to intermediate.
Actually, I wonder if it expects you to just look everything up on YouTube.
I don't know. I don't, like, they have a little explanation on some of the stitches, but they'll be like, oh, this, and then there's like a whole mess in the middle that doesn't really have any colors pointing to it to where. Like this large section here, it's just like, oh, these three colors, figure it out. And I'm like, okay. And let's see, there was one section somewhere here. Okay, so this section that it's pointing to around the neck, like on the neck there. It says color 4, 5, 7, 8. Do long and short needles. But like everywhere it says long and short needles, it has NEEDLESI. Is that a typo? Or like I should probably look up that word. And now my brain is like, no, let's look up the word because now my head hurts. And I'm distracted. What does that mean? NEEDLESI. Is that like a needle size? So when I searched it with the I on the end, Google kicks it back to LES.
Put this term in quotation marks.
Huh?
What you're Googling, if you need the exact spelling, put the whole thing in quotation marks.
Okay. It tried to correct it to the proper spelling again.
It didn't correct it. It's just not finding anything. If you look, it says these are similar to
pattern term. Huh. It's got to be a typo.
I mean, to be fair, it's a cheap ass kit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if something got messed up in translation or if AI made the color key. I don't know.
No, someone just typed it out.
Or it was a translation issue.
And it is a cheap thing, so
because the way that, and the reason why I say I think it's a translation issue more than anything is just the way that the pattern reads where it's talking about how to do different stitches. It reads like it was originally not written.
It's got incorrect grammar
in English. Yeah, like I think it was maybe translated from Chinese or something to that effect. Roughly. Because like where there's a disclaimer on the back that says the effect drawing is for reference only. Please take the real object as the standard. And I'm like, okay. So the colors are not completely different, but the shades of them are very different compared to this. Like, see how that looks a lot more orange, like bright orange, and this looks more yellow. And over here, this looks a lot more like khaki almost, and a dark muted orange back here. So, I mean, there's definitely a difference between the finished piece and the color key. But I'm almost done. I think I've got a little bit more to do on the dark orange. And then, oh no, I'm on the dark red. And then I have to swap to the medium red. And then there's like a, one of the tan colors remaining that doesn't look anything like the front of the pattern or the color key. It's somewhere in between. So that's fun. Oh, and for those that haven't heard yet, I'm going to be switching to a summer streaming schedule towards the end of April. Just so you all are aware. We are in like the middle of the country and it's going to be getting very warm during the day here soon, where having the streaming lights on and all of the stuff running is going to make it unbearably hot in here during like the hottest part of the day, where it seems like the fans just can't keep up. And while we do have whole house AC, our room does not seem to be attached with the air ducts. And the reason I say that is because in the winter you can feel cold air blowing out of it when the wind blows. And during the winter there'd be no warm air coming out of it whatsoever. Not even like weekly drifting. There would just be nothing. And in the summer there was nothing coming out of it even after we had the house um air conditioner slash heating unit replaced and got a newer one. And you can feel it in the kitchen, which you should feel it in our room too if it's reaching the kitchen, because the kitchen is right next to our room. So we believe something happened with the ductwork under the house, and when they were here replacing the air conditioning unit, we're like, hey, can you guys take a look at the ducts underneath, because for some reason this room isn't getting anything. And they're like, oh, we don't do ductwork. And I just kind of looked at them, I'm like, really? Okay. And we don't think that this and like our room is connected to the duct line anymore, or there's something blocking it. We don't know
I'll probably have a look when I fix the bathroom.
what's going on with that. Just be careful.
Oh yeah.
I'm just nervous with you being under there because of that accidental pipe breakage the one time.
Well, that's why I can't go and look now.
Yeah.
Because that's the entry point. When I'm working on the bathroom, I'm gonna have a new entry point.
I thought you couldn't get to that side of the house from there. I thought that's why there was 2 crawl spaces.
You can. There's a gap in the back.
Alright. But, like, we actually ended up putting packing tape over the vents in the floor in our room because it wasn't doing anything except letting more cold air in the winter. So we're like, yeah, no, these are useless pretty much. We're just gonna cover these. So, like, but during the warmer months, it is hot as balls in here. Like we have fans to help, you know, like kind of like similar to the fans that you would see in retail stores that would blow on the floor when it's raining to try to dry up the water that people were tracking in. We have one of those fans that we use to try to blow the cooler air from the rest of the house where there are vents that are putting it out into the house towards our room. For the warmer months when we have to have the air conditioning running. But that only does so much, so towards the end of April, we're going to be switching to nighttime streams again. That, and we've been having a really difficult time getting to bed before midnight lately. It's just not been working. So we used to do overnight shift for so long, and we ended up being on more of a daytime schedule to deal with parentals and other things, and we've been struggling to hold on to that ever since we came back from our trip at the beginning of February. And lately we've been like waking up at like closer to 10 after falling asleep like around 2. So we're just gonna roll with it since it's gonna be so hot during the day soon. So we're gonna do stream time is gonna switch to like 8-9 p.m. to midnight, somewhere in there. It might be like 9 to midnight central, but there's times where if we don't have anything going, I might start a little bit earlier. But that's gonna happen towards the end of April. We're trying to hold on to being a bit more functional early as long as we can because we have this zoo trip planned and they open at 9. I think they're open from like 9 to 4. And I like to get there close to when they open, and it's like a 2-hour drive. So we would have to leave here at like 7:30 in the morning or close to it to get the most out of our entry fee, because we usually are done there by like 3, 2:30, because we're usually um arriving back home right around dinner time. So we need to kind of wait till then. And we're probably going to go the middle of next month, probably. Depending on the weather. Like, I don't know the weather that far out, but it's probably what's going to end up happening there. It's just so funny to me that the Tulsa Zoo in Oklahoma is closer to us than the zoo in Little Rock. So we have to cross the state line to go to the zoo that's closer. There is a zoo in Springfield, Missouri, but the reviews were not inspiring. Snuffles!
Snuffs.
What's she barking at?
Mr. Bean is in the window that she's also trying to be in.
Snuffles, that is not for you. You cannot be in the windowsill, because then you get stuck in. And then Mr. Bean also wants to be in the windowsill, because he is a cat and fits in the windowsill. But the reviews were not great. There was a lot of people saying don't bother. I was seeing some of the photos, and Tulsa Zoo looks a lot better. They're also in the middle of a lot of updating construction at Tulsa, which I'm excited to see when they're done. They won't be done that until sometime next year. But they are bringing zebras back to Tulsa. They are redoing their lion area. They're going to be adding a few new things and what have you. Definitely redoing older habitat exhibits. So I am excited to see that. They just redid their elephant area not too long ago. I'm hoping that a couple of their buildings that house some of their birds and like the one building, I think was it Sea Life building or whatever. Like they've got a Sea Life building, they've got like a desert building. I think it's like, is it 4 or 3 buildings that they've got different smaller animals in, like a lot of their birds. What else was in there? Think, child, think. They had a couple aquariums in the one. They had some like gators in the one, I think. One had some bugs in it. One had, was it an Arctic fox? And maybe a fennec fox. I think one building was like life in the cold, another one was desert. And I can't remember what the other one was, but they were like kind of all connected through like different like boardwalk areas and what have you. Those buildings really need an update or refurbishment of some degree, I feel like. Their flamingos got an outdoor habitat upgrade not too long ago where they added a smaller covered viewing deck, and it looked like they added a enrichment mud pit in the middle for them. It did make them a lot stinkier, but it did seem like more natural, and I think, I could be mistaken, but I think they added netting over the outdoor viewing area for them. Because one of the zoos, and I can't remember if it was Oklahoma City or Tulsa, it might have been Oklahoma City, one of their flamingos flew away and just went off on his own adventure. And I don't know if they ever captured him, but they might have did that to keep anybody from escaping that suddenly decided that they were going off on their own. I'm trying to remember if did they add netting around it? It's been like a full year and a half since we were last there. Like, we didn't go last year at all because we were saving up to go to Florida, but my mom's like, can we go to the zoo next month? And I'm like, yeah, I guess. I'm like, it's probably gonna cost us about 120, 130 for gas and tickets and food. We usually, Tulsa lets you bring your own food in. Just can't bring glass, but you can bring your own like picnic luncheon, or you can buy something there. So we might just like bring some salads or something with us, or a sandwich, and then we might like get a couple of snackies to split. I think last time we got like a pretzel to split and maybe some funnel cake fries to split between all of us. But I like to get there early before it gets too hot and too busy. And we've definitely learned our lesson about checking the weather there, because the weather there is a completely different animal from the weather here. Like, the one time we went, was it for our birthdays? Our birthdays are like a week apart from each other, a year and a week. So we usually do something that we both want to do to celebrate the week in between, like the week after and the week after mine and the week before his. We usually do something in there if we end up doing anything at all. Or was it for our anniversary? I can't remember. Maybe it was for our anniversary, because it was the beginning of June. Might have been for our anniversary when we went. And when we got there, like when we left, it was like, oh, it's not supposed to rain, we're good. Except that was here. I forgot to check there. When we got there, there was a sign at the ticket booth that said the train wasn't going to be running due to inclement weather. And I looked at him and he looked at me and we're like, inclement weather? Like, I didn't think it was supposed to rain today. So we asked them, they're like, oh, it's because of how hot it's going to be. The train won't run when it gets to be a certain temperature. I don't know if that's for driver, conductor safety, or if the tracks might behave oddly. I'm not entirely sure why. And we're like, the heat. And we kind of looked at each other. We're like, what? And he looked up the weather on his phone while we were standing there after we got our tickets, and it's like there was a heat advisory in place for a heat index of up to 103. And we're like, oh no. Like, he doesn't do well in the heat either. And we're like, oh no, oh no, 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 no. And there's not many places with shade where you can cool off. There's a couple of buildings that had air conditioning that you could step into to get a break from the heat. But, you know, most of it you're completely outdoors in. So that was a red flag for us. And we're like, should we just turn around and go home? We're like, no, we're here. Maybe it won't be so bad. It was bad. I think by the time we got home, we were like suffering from heat exhaustion. It was pretty bad. There was like a summer camp or a vacation Bible school or something there. And the chaperones had the kids in some of the buildings that were air conditioned and were just letting them run off energy in the building. Like the chaperones were toast, and they're like, oh my god, they just wanted the day to be over. And at that point I said to him, I said, I can't take another screaming 6-year-old running into me in this building, because in that part of the building it was dark. They were like simulating caves or something. And at that point the chaperone was like a teenager who looked like they were just so done with life at that point. And I'm like, let's get one drink to go and hit the gift shop and let's go home. So I was like, I think we're good to go home. I'm about done from the heat. We grabbed dinner on the way home and like ate and like went the fuck to bed. We were done. We're like, yeah, no, I've had enough of this day. I've had more than enough. And it wasn't just us that the kids were running into in the building. They kept running into all kinds of people because there were other adults with, I think, their own kids going through there that they were like running into, because I kept hearing kids say, oh, sorry. I'm like, it is pitch black in the one section. Like, he has to turn his phone flashlight on for me to see so I don't trip. I'm like, is it supposed to be this dark in this section or what? And I don't know how these kids can see. I was more worried about the kids tripping and like smashing their head into these fake stalactites that were very, very tight. Like, it was a very narrow, like, body width walkway in this simulated cave section. I'm like, I get that we want to run around, but maybe we should run around in a section that's a little bit bigger. Maybe. Just maybe. I don't know. Like, the one building used to have like an indoor play area near where the elephants were. I don't know if they still have that anymore, because they redid the whole elephant area. Alright, 1 second. Alright. So, sorry, I just had a thought and I was like, oh no. I wanted to get the husband's attention to the matter while he was standing there. But, yeah, no, I'm excited to go back. see what they've changed. See all what's under refurbishment. Can't wait to see what the new lion area is gonna look like. That should be exciting. Because the habitat they were in looked very much from when the zoo first opened. Where, you know, you can tell older sections of older zoos from like the late 70s, 80s, where they had like the concrete pit right under like the viewing area fencing for like the bears and the lions and stuff. Um to have that barrier in between, and then it would look like the animals were out on like their own little like concretey kind of island, if you will, that was attached to their indoor area. So their lion area currently looked something similar to that. Like there was a little bit of grass and rocks and stuff, but it was essentially like a concrete island thingy. So I am curious to see what the new one is going to look like. So that's exciting. Especially seeing how big the new elephant barn turned out to be in their elephant preserve and stuff. They expanded it quite a bit. They made their elephant barn area much, much bigger. You can enter it, I guess, for like an up above view of all the different elephant holding areas. And I think they added a couple more elephants to their herd, because I think they were down to 2 or 3 maybe. I believe they added a couple more. I could be wrong about that, but I thought there were murmurings of that. I don't know. It feels like there's something like either like a rough piece of skin or something in my shirt that keeps hitting this one spot on my back and just starts itching like crazy. I mean, it could be a pull in the shirt for all I know. Let's see, what time is it? Alright, I need to gently pull that. Alright, we're gonna rotate our mat. Are we taking him this afternoon or after dinner?
I assumed after dinner. I think your mom said this afternoon that she's walking, so we could go this afternoon.
Wait, she said she wanted to go this afternoon, or she wants to go after dinner? Because that makes a difference on when I stop.
Let's go this. She said she'd go this afternoon, so
Okay.
I don't know if she's gonna go this afternoon, but it's not that cold.
I just heard her tap by if you wanted to double check.
Well, except we can't just say. Well, alright, I thought I was what she wants.
Yeah. Alright, let me thin this out a little. That's a little thick there. So I'm just using acrylic yarn that I have brushed out from its plied, twisted, knitty crochet state. Or knit ready, crochet ready state, rather. And kind of turned it into my own needle felting fibery readiness. My bags of forbidden cotton candy. Because it kind of reminds me, like, if you ever went to the boardwalk when you're little, or even now, you'd see all the different colored bags of cotton candy hanging up.
Yeah, so 2:30.
Okay. And so I've got like a whole section on my wall of nothing but these bags of colors of yarn. So I call it the forbidden cotton candy because that's what it looks like. It looks like cotton candy. But we cannot eat this cotton candy. No, no. That's not gonna taste very good. Gosh, I think it took me like 2 weeks to refill my all of my yarn bags, my fluff bags. I just finished doing that. I've got the prep work done for the next tissue paper art. I want to do a tissue paper version of this one. I'm gonna do that on an 8x10 canvas. Hopefully I have enough paper. The whole time I was trying to twist the paper and the colors for it because it's left over from the big 36x48 canvas I did. I'm trying to do stuff with it to use it up because I've got a ton of tissue paper. And I was twisting it and filling the tiny little snack size Ziploc bags with the twisted paper, and I'm like, is this enough? I don't know if I have enough prepped for this. Do I have enough? And I had to keep reminding myself that I'm working on an 8x10, not another 36x48. And that it was gonna be okay. I still might be short on a couple of colors, but like I have it, I just have to twist more of it. Because at one point I was like, I think you have enough. Because my hands were getting tired from twisting all of it. Because I was twisting the tissue paper for that big one like every night when I was working on other editing stuff that needed to be done. Just a drop of water. Just to kind of shape that guy a little bit there. I've got like a weird line between the two, so I'm just gonna lay that over top there just to kind of cover that. But I'd be twisting tissue paper like every night for almost the length of working on that project. So I'd be like, oh, no, I'm about to run out of this color, so we need more of this, and oh, I'm going to be starting this color soon, so I need to start twisting that. So, I mean, I did go through a fair bit of paper in some of the colors. But right now I'm just trying to work my way through some of it. I mean, I probably should just keep twisting all of it, but I haven't had much downtime to work on twisting paper right now because I'm trying to get these gifts done, and I still have to start on the mother-in-law's gift. I hadn't originally planned on needing one for her because she wasn't going to be here, and with them traveling, it's not like we would have been able to mail it to a location for them to get it from. So we were just going to be like a text or a phone call and be done with it. But since she's now here last minute, I need to try to put something together last minute. But I've got, I think, is it a 4? I have a 4 and 5 inch hoop. That I think we can. I think we'll have time to get something worked out. I'm trying to figure out if I need to paint the background of the fabric. I'm not sure if I should. I still have to transfer the pattern over. So originally I was thinking, oh, maybe I can like really water down some paint. Whoops.
Not fair. Thank you.
Did she do anything?
Oh, I can hear her puking.
Yeah, but I didn't know.
Not yet.
Okay. Because she like stopped when you grabbed her.
You can yarf, but don't yarf in the windowsill right above my computer.
Yes, please not. We cannot emergency fix something disastrously right now.
Oh,
What did she get into?
oh. But she did toss her breakfast.
Alright, I'll write something. Oh my goodness. That's another reason why I don't like her getting in the windowsill there, because it's behind where the husband's computer tower is at. I mean, with the way she eats stuff off the floor, could be anything. Could be cat food that got knocked onto the floor. We have to feed the cats up on a small table in the kitchen. Like an end table height. Because the dogs will eat the cat food.
You're okay.
Everybody is being stinky today. I mean, that kind of helps, but we still have a little bit of a line there. So I might need to do something there, but might need to add a little bit more. But let's do a frame check here. So that's gonna like sit on the very edge. Right, I think I might paint the frame black because there's going to be the silhouettes in the middle. All right. Yeah, I think we're looking okay so far. So I've got a little bit of wiggle room, top and bottom. Not so much wiggle room on the edges. I think we might be slightly just short in that regard. How did she get back there?
Because every time I cleaned up, I had to move it slightly, and she moved further in.
Oh, child, can't you just, like, do it in one spot and be done? We've got a cat that's like that. Who will have a hairball and then keep moving through the house and will continue to keep hairballing in like 3 different rooms. What's that? Oh my goodness. There's just not going to be escaping a migraine today. Or at least a bad headache day. Hopefully it doesn't hit full migraine. But we've had a lot of different scents today. Oh, okay. That's what he sprayed. Whew, that was a little strong. The eucalyptus spray for animal accidents to try to get rid of the animal accident smell. But that'll fade in a couple of hours, I think. Maybe at least I know what the smell is and it's not some weird smell that I'm like, what is this? Why am I smelling this? Because, like, there's times that they're doing prescribed burns in the area and the wind is blowing, like, the smoke smell in our direction, and I'll be like, why does it smell like there's smoke in the house and I can't find it? Like, the smoke detector's not going off, and then we realize it's being pulled in from outside. I'm like, oh, right, okay. Well, at least we know where it's coming from now. Or it'll be a neighbor smoking something on their grill, or somebody burning yard waste. We did get some good rain the other day, though. So, between all of the storms, at least we got rain. And didn't get anything super, super severe. But no, I'll make sure that you guys have enough notice right before we flip to the new schedule. And I'll change the schedule on the channel here. I'll also have to be changing what days I'm streaming. So I'll have to switch to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Because husband has a thing with friends on Sunday night and Monday night online over Discord. And some nights they're watching, sometimes it's a movie night, sometimes they're just bullshitting, other nights they're doing D&D or Cyberpunk or something. So Sunday and Monday need to be open at night because sometimes they run late. So we're gonna switch to, for the summer schedule, the summer nighttime streaming schedule, it will be Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, and Friday night. But we're not doing that until closer to the end of April. Okay. Just wanted to make sure that you guys were aware. I actually need to get some more little known galaxy recorded. Because I've had to use a bit more of that to fill in over on the YouTube channel from the way the lives have been going up over there. I've been using that as filler. Alright. So let's take a look here. How are we doing? Okay. So we're not doing too bad. We got the pink finished being filled in here. And we have now started with our orangey peachy color that we're going to fill in around the sun. That's going to take a little bit of time because I need to fill it in and it's a little thin in spots. So I'm trying to make sure that I cover up anywhere where the gray is trying to poke through there. And I have like another little bit of a slightly darker mid-range orange that I'm gonna put in there around the sun bleeding outwards a little bit. But we're gonna be on this color for a little while. But I did end up starting a little bit late today, and we need to take the dog to the park before it gets too much later, because then we have to go before school lets out or else we can't get out of our driveway. It takes forever. So we will pick up on this some more next week. The plan is to be back tomorrow, migraine permitting, of course, for some more Planet Zoo. I'm going to try to get those red cranes put in tomorrow and hopefully try to get a little bit more planning done for the boats. We'll see how far I get on that. The whole day might, the whole stream session might be just working on the cranes and trying to figure out how I want to handle those. I almost I want to see how much room those cranes need, because if they don't need a whole lot of room, maybe I can work in, maybe I can work them in the middle of the boat ride with a keeper hut and a then I need a vet too. I don't know, maybe I could squeeze the buildings in there. So I was thinking if they didn't need much room, maybe I could like squeeze everybody into like an island area. But then mechanics need to come and go. So I might have to like do a bridge over the over the island, or like under the island maybe. I don't know. I gotta think about it. That'll be a problem for tomorrow me, but I do want to thank y'all for popping in today. We'll try to be back tomorrow with Planet Zoo, and don't forget to follow the socially links down below. Sorry, my brain just like screeched to a halt. The links will take you to the Ko-fi, the Blue Sky, and the YouTube channel. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their day, and I will see everybody in the next one.